Welcome, one and all, gamers, geeks, and nerdy minds alike, to another year of the Game Awards with us here at Byte BSU. I am your wonderful and oh-so-auspicious host, Aaron Picklesimer. You may remember me from the time I took a pie to the face last year, but worry not, my friends, for that shall not happen again. With me today are some of the nerdiest minds I could gather from this studio who I would love to introduce, but we'll let them do it themselves, starting with another returning pie-faced member from last year.
Hi, I'm Ian Case, and I am the Associate Reviews Editor here at Byte.
Hi, I'm Mason Mundy. I'm the Senior Videos Editor here at Byte.
Hello, I'm Annika Sharlow, and I am the Senior Social Media Editor for Byte.
Unlike last year, this year, our scoring will be different as we will be playing Bingo. Yes, you heard me right, we'll be playing that game our grandparents love to play at the lodges. Each of us will be given an empty bingo card, which we will have to fill out with our predictions for anything, and I mean anything, that may occur throughout the Game Awards. Don't worry, Kojima's appearance is our free space. For each space we get correct, we get a point. And for each 5 in a row of bingo is worth 6 points. When all is said and done, the winner with the most points will write an embarrassing video. The loser with the least points will have to record. While we would love to design these cards with you today, we must abide by utmost secrecy, only revealing our cards once the Game Awards live show begins on December 12th, of which we sincerely hope you will join us. For now, however, let us begin with our picks for the Game Awards. Let's start with the esports.
Esports.
Most important category.
Esports, yeah.
Best esports team. I know none of these.
Bibbly.
It's Billy.
Billy.
I think that's a Chinese company.
It is a Chinese company, and they
it's a
shut
company.
down their American comic servers, so sad girlies could no longer read their silly little
So
webcomics every
we don't
night.
want them to win.
Actually, they're my pick.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
have loyalty
recognize
and
them as a
hope.
Chinese
Okay.
mega company, so I think they're gonna win.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't think that they're going to win, simply because, first up, we got 3 League of Legends teams in here, all of which made it to the finals at this year's Worlds.
You know too much about
You
this.
researched?
Yes, I recently got into League of Legends. All right, sue me.
Can we kick them off?
No.
Yeah, get him off the stage.
So, unfortunately, T1 is almost certainly going to win because of Faker, because Faker is the name of League of Legends within the esports team, although then Gen G and Billy are quite good as well. So, my personal pick, it's T1.
I don't really care who wins. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna go with Navi just because I like Counter Strike. So.
All right. Best esports athlete. Faker's the only one I recognize.
Yeah, I
was
trust
gonna say,
Faker.
It's gonna be Faker.
I
I
agree
put
with you.
Faker.
I trust you. We're going with Faker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already put Faker.
All right, best esports game.
I put League.
So, here's the thing. I know I just said I like Counter Strike. I hate Counter Strike 2. I think it's terrible, actually. I cannot
Bearing
stand
the
that game.
lead on that one.
I don't know what happened when they switched over to Source 2. It's awful. I hate it. But I also don't really care for any of these other games.
I'm shocked that Dota has like a surviving.
Dota's still alive.
It's still going. I'm shocked.
Listen, it's Valve, all right? Gabe Newell, just
I will
his
say,
presence alone.
It's kind of shocking that Fortnite isn't on here because I feel like it's been on here the last
It's not really
few
a
years.
big esports game.
Yeah.
Really?
though. Like it has.
I feel like it's been on here the last
it has a
few years,
competitive, but I
hasn't
don't think they ever have like actual like in-person tournaments.
it?
Nah, I best you get the middle schooler esports teams that play Fortnite together.
I'm always surprised Siege never makes it on here because like
Oh,
they
yeah.
have big esports events.
I'm just glad it doesn't. As someone who's played
Yeah.
Siege, I'm
I
glad
haven't, I
it
haven't
isn't.
touched the game in like 2 years.
Siege is
I don't know.
fine.
Siege is toxic.
It's
I
fine,
know
but
I know
it's
nothing
just-
about
Unlike
esports.
League, that is.
I'm-
Yeah,
No,
unlike
League-
League, which
League
is a very
is-
perfectly normal game.
League is rainbows and sunshines. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's probably League. I
It's gonna
guess.
be League,
Yeah,
probably
right.
League.
Yeah, I put League.
I don't know, but the underdog could be Bang Bang Mobile Legends, just because I don't know what it is.
All right, everyone at the same time for Content Creator of the Year.
Queso.
So, yeah.
I put
Again,
the
it'd be
VTuber to be funny, but I'm glad.
It was
a
VTuber
VTuber
last year. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what,
It was was it
It's
Iron
gonna
Mouse?
be queso. Like,
See, that was the only one I had heard of, but I felt
I
I
don't-
needed, as the one who's always pitching for Bite VTuber, I felt like
Fair.
in solidarity I had
That's
to choose the
understandable.
VTuber.
I don't recognize any of these people besides Queso.
No.
Apparently Usada Pecora had like an arena concert or something. I don't
Perfect.
know.
Good pick for me then.
But
Interesting.
I mean, Queso here, we got his picture on the Game Awards website.
It's
he
the
looks
Waffle House.
He looks blazing outside a Waffle House. I think that's amazing. So I think Queso.
well, queso's also like the streamer that blew up this
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See, that's one I heard
He
of.
got a
his
he got a
Dresswood
Meat
Quest
Canyon
clips
uh,
on TikTok. I
He
saw
got a
him.
Meat Canyon short made about him.
Yeah,
so-
I think if you hit Meat Canyon status, you're
I agree.
solid. I mean, I don't know about you, but I haven't seen Meat Canyon do any of these others.
What's the most anticipated game?
Oh, okay.
It's-
So it's
Okay.
definitely Death Stranding 2, everybody, right?
No, this is the GTA 6
I was
award.
gonna say,
Yeah.
the
personally,
GTA 6,
Metroid
yeah.
Prime 4, because I did not think that game was ever going to come out.
Still might
The
not.
real answer is
Is
GTA 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost guaranteed GTA 6.
Yeah.
However, my personal pick goes to Yote.
It does look good.
I mean, it looks really good. Since Ghost of Tsushima came out way back in the day, people have been crying nonstop for a sequel. Now they're getting one. So, I don't know. And I've heard a lot of people say good things about that trailer. So,
It's just
I
gonna
wonder,
be...
is the movie still in development?
I did not even know they were doing a
It's
movie.
made by the director of John Wick, apparently.
Okay, I've got whole faith in this guy. All right, Chad Stahelski. God,
Yeah.
can't say his name.
Best adaptation. All right. This is the Arcane Award.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the Arcane Award.
I just
Well,
finished.
What about Knuckles?
So you're about to get these.
Mason's
nuggets.
I'm voting
voting for
Knuckles.
This is. I watched 2 episodes of the Yakuza show and it was not very good.
No.
I didn't know they
Um,
made a Yakuza show.
Fallout is good. I reviewed Fallout. It just got posted. My review a few days ago. Very good show. But then Arcane dropped, so it's the Arcane Award.
Yeah.
Yeah, it very much is the Arcane Award. Say what you will about League of Legends, Riot Games knows how to advertise
Oh, yeah.
really, really well.
Yeah, I'm about to write up a review for this, and I think it's hilarious that people online don't know, Arcane fans don't know how to like read subtext and like visual cues. They're like complaining
Because
about
they play League of Legends. That's
no,
why.
these are people that aren't League of
These are
Legends
Yeah,
players.
League of Legends players actually are like, okay, we're gonna analyze every
That's
single
fair.
detail.
But they're like, dude, how could they end it like this? Oh, this is so ambiguous. I'm like, is it?
It's not in the slightest. Anyways, we're getting off topic. That's a whole other review. So we all agree it's the Arcane.
It's Arcane.
Award.
Yeah. Mason is picking Knuckles.
I'm gonna
but,
pick
like,
Knuckles for funny, but it's arcade.
Best multiplayer.
Oh,
I don't know. I've only played one of these games, and it's only because I have Game Pass. So I've only played COD.
I picked
I've
COD.
heard really good things about Helldivers 2. My personal answer is Mario Party Jamboree because it's really good, but I don't think it's gonna win. I feel like Helldivers 2 has a very solid chance at it, just because I've heard so much good things about it.
It's definitely. I think it's fallen off over the past months, but it blew up when it came out.
Yeah.
And I
But, like-
think the community aspect of it when it was, I don't know if it still works like that, but the idea that like collectively you're like pushing towards.
Oh,
a
yeah, I mean, that
goal
was the whole
is like
model of the game.
super cool.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I think Helldivers 2 has a shot.
I don't know, but what about Annika? What do you think?
I said COD.
COD? That's right. I truly do think
It's
that
just one of those that's like, oh, it's the new COD.
If
this
you
year.
have,
Yeah.
That's
if you
fair.
have Game Pass, this one is actually fun. So,
This one
Surprisingly-
is actually fun.
compared to the last like 3 years,
Yeah, I mean, compared to...
I would not drop $70 on it still, but
I think
you
my
know,
personal pick would be Super Mario Party Jamboree, but Helldivers 2 is the realistic pick for me.
Yeah, I chose Helldivers 2 as somebody who's only played Helldivers 2. But I'm also for Warhammer 40K because I am just that nerd.
Yeah.
So,
So we're all in agreement it's Top Spin, right?
I've never heard of this game.
no, it's gonna be F1 because
Yeah.
every year the racing game gets
yeah,
it.
See,
because
I did
racing
say
games
F1.
because racing
Games are fun.
racing games are better than sports
Yeah.
games.
They really are.
Like
I-
it's a racing game up against FC25. Sorry, am I legally allowed to call it what it really is called? 'Cause
All right, we'll keep that on the download. We'll save that for when the Game Awards are actually announced and FC 25 wins. Then we can spot the names.
And then I'm gonna call it FIFA. But no, I think it's F1.
Yeah,
I think
no,
it's
as
gonna be
the
F1.
resident white woman Gen Z, I had to pick F1. For my F1 girlies out there, this one's for you.
Let's go. So all clean house, F1.
Yeah.
All right. Best sim and strategy.
I know nothing about this.
I don't know any of these games.
I asked my dad. My dad said Frostpunk 2, so I went with Frostpunk 2.
I chose Frostpunk 2 solely because, first off, that's just a really cool name, Frostpunk.
Yeah, it's pretty
Then
cool.
also the photo for it is just really, really awesome looking.
It'll be. I think maybe either that. I think I've heard of Manor Lords, or I gotta go to bat for them. Maybe Unicorn Overlord because it's I don't know.
I don't know. It
I've
could
heard
just
good
be a
things about that.
Capcom here who gets it
Yeah.
with Kunitsu Gami.
See, that one
I
was
think-
really
Really a
cool,
toss-up.
but I
See,
did go
I'm
with
thinking
Frostpunk.
Age of Mythology just because it sounds like something. It sounds like something I've heard before, and then also it's by Xbox Game Studios, and you know how Jeff Keighley loves
Xbox. Yeah.
Does he though?
No, he very much does.
He very much does.
I mean,
I mean, he also equally loves PlayStation, so it's.
I mean, yeah, but he loves Xbox.
he loves but there's nothing that will beat his love for anything than
more than his love for Hideo
Thank you,
Kojima.
exactly.
All right, best family.
Best family.
game.
All right,
So,
Mason,
this
as the
is-
resident family game man.
So here's the thing.
Excuse me, that's like all I play.
This is like the Nintendo award. This is the one that like Nintendo at least gets to say that they got a game award.
But
So here's the thing. Out of this list, I would say that The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom is the best game here. However,
It's not gonna win this category.
Astrobot also got nominated for just straight up Game of the Year.
which means
So-
Astrobot wins this.
Yeah. But it's also, I don't think the Game Awards would want to just completely snub Nintendo of a win the entire night. Like, that's the thing.
That
I
is
feel like they would not
fair.
want
I
to
still think it's
snub
going
them.
to be Astrobot.
I think it's either Astrobot or Echoes of Wisdom, and I'm going with
See,
my heart, and I'm going Echoes of Wisdom.
See, I put Jamboree because for like specifically like family game, like I don't know, I didn't put Echoes of Wisdom for that one as I've played Echoes of Wisdom. I love this one, but I put that one for a later one just because I don't feel like it hits this
I mean,
category.
family
as well.
game is just like,
and that's fair,
what
but I
is
just
it?
feel
What doesn't have a gun in it?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
yes,
know
but
like
I just feel
what
like
the
Jamboree is
jury like
bigger.
makes these decisions based
Yeah.
on. Is it just like the most popular game in this category? Then it's probably Astrobot.
It's Astrobot.
Yeah.
Is it the game that adheres the most to the concept of a family game? Then it's probably like Mario Party.
But we're overthinking it. First off,
It's probably Astrobot.
it's going to be Astrobot. All right, it is literally just, all right, who can get the most amount of their family and friends to vote on the exact same thing as the person. And it's going to be Astrobot.
See, I'm
I'm
too much of a
gonna-
Nintendo shill, so I went with Jamboree.
I'm gonna lock in Echoes of Wisdom.
Has Nintendo ever had like a press moment during the Game Awards, like an announcement? Or something?
Joker and Smash.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Remember, that's like the most
Yeah.
famous Game Awards moment.
Right, definitely.
Which is why I'm banking it here now. Persona 6 will be revealed at the Game Awards.
God,
Ace Attorney 7 will be announced. Just trust.
nah, it's gonna be. We're gonna get a full reveal this time of Professor Layton and the World of Steam.
Or
I'm so
Professor
sorry
Layton
to-
versus Phoenix Wright. I don't
They're
even
gonna
like
do.
that
They're
game,
gonna do
honestly.
I
World
loved
of Goo
Professor
3.
Layton.
World of
Yeah,
Goo-
yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
I never got into Professor Layton.
It was
I love
great.
those
Professor
You
Sad.
missed out.
Best
I did.
fighting game.
So multiverses, right?
No, I'm gonna say Tekken.
I went with
probably.
Tekken 8.
I'm going with the Dragon Ball game.
I
just 'cause
do,
I
yeah.
know I've heard a lot of good about it, and I know a lot of people were excited about it.
But is it?
so-
That's because I heard a lot of good things about Tekken as well as just a general fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
But is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? Is that good beyond being like a
That
good
I don't
Dragon
know.
Ball game?
To
I
be
mean,
fair, that I don't.
I think what Dragon Ball has going for it is nostalgic. So
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know much about it, but I think it was like an older game that like got remade. I think. Correct me if
All
I'm
I
wrong.
know is that I have a few friends that are really into Dragon Ball, and they were hyped when this game came out. So I'm gonna personally go with Dragon Ball, but I could also see Tekken winning
Yeah. I said multiverses because, well, it's multiverses. Right, come on.
because you want to.
All right, now we
Yeah.
gotta address the elephant in the room, because this is the first time it appears
Oh,
on here.
God, yeah.
Okay, so best RPG, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erdtree is nominated here. This is not actually a precedent. This was set as precedent earlier by Witcher 3 Blood and Wine in 2016, which is another massive expansion that won Best RPG. This seems to be nominated for a lot more than that was.
Oh, absolutely.
I do think it has a chance to win Best RPG at least. And to be fair, I only have a really huge issue with one of the nominations that Elden Ring is nominated for this year.
I think we're all
I
in
think
agreement
we're all
about
in-
it.
yeah.
We all know what it is. It's been nominated for Game of the Year when as a DLC, it is not a new
It's not a game.
Yeah.
It is not a
I
game.
think it feels fine in a lot of the other categories,
Right.
especially ones that aren't necessarily tied to like
It's just
being a
like-
game.
It's just one of those of you can't say Game of the Year
Yeah.
is a game that came out 2 years ago.
Because like it is massive and it is like the length of like most games. It's like a 40-50 hour experience, which is like even a little longer than like Lies of P.
But that does
But
not.
it's also not a game.
Yeah.
You have to get through like another 50 hours worth of the actual game of Elden Ring to beat like two pretty like difficult-ish bosses. And then you go in and it's a pretty like difficult area and it's not a game.
The thing with Elden Ring is that even if it was like something new, it's not doing anything new.
Yeah.
That's the big issue. Like I wouldn't be as upset as I am if it drastically changed how Elden Ring played, but it doesn't. All it does is really add some new weapons, some new magic items, a bunch of new bosses, and additional story.
Yeah, I think it condenses the best parts of Elden Ring into a very cohesive experience. I think the exploration is very like fine-tuned in that.
Right.
Finding like all the secret areas in the map is super cool. And I think the story's a lot easier to follow than the main game. It's a very like straightforward narrative, which is pretty like novel for FromSoft. Because like you go and like the characters are like always at every like landmark for you to talk to
Right.
and stuff. And like, will it define what like an expansion is for other games? I don't know, probably not. I don't think any other studio is going to take a shot like that.
No.
I wish they would, but
I want more DLCs for Game of the Year, actually. So.
Oh God.
Oops,
other
all
than
DLC sweep.
I think Shadow of the
Mario
Earth
Kart 8
might
Deluxe,
win for this, but
expansion
my
pass.
other pick for this would be Metaphor.
Yeah, I
Reed
went with
Fantasio.
Metaphor.
Yeah, my personal pick, Metaphor, but I do think that Elden Ring is going to sweep just for showing.
Are you still playing Metaphor?
Yeah, I am.
How good is it?
It is really, really good, and as someone who's played Persona 5, I've only played Persona 5, I haven't played any of the others. It is a lot more up to my speed because I felt Persona 5 was a bit childish in a way. Like I think my best friend said it the best. The game treats you as if you have the memory of a goldfish, and that is the most insulting thing a game can do. As good as Persona 5 is, it handholds you way too much. Metaphor, while yeah, it's still an Atlas game and does sort of those things, it's not to that same extent. So I really enjoy it.
I like Final
Best
Fantasy
action
7.
adventure.
I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy 7.
Oh yeah, we totally skipped
Yeah.
you. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's okay. Listen, Final Fantasy is there, but it's
I just
So,
like Final Fantasy 7.
Is since you're the one who played and reviews this, is Silent Hill 2 an action adventure game?
it is. Oh God!
I feel like the answer's no.
It is a
Complete
psychological
fair.
thriller. Like, it's. I mean, yeah, it has some action beats, I guess, but it's not action as like Star Wars Outlaws or
okay,
Prince
what
of
is it? Yeah.
Persia.
Best action combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving.
It's got traversal and puzzle solving. Combat is very. It does
Although,
have
like,
some good.
what does it
bosses,
mean
though.
by like traversal though? Like,
I think.
I guess I feel like that
'Cause,
doesn't
like-
line up with Astrobot either, because Astrobot's just a platform.
because Astrobot
Yeah.
doesn't have combat.
Yeah.
I cannot believe Star Wars Outlaws got nominated for this. I don't know. Zelda. Let's go Zelda.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
chose Echoes of Wisdom.
Silent Hill. I'm going. I did Silent Hill for every time it shows up. All right.
Echoes
It-
of
it-
Wisdom.
it's-
See, I actually played Echoes of Wisdom, so like really hoping for this one.
All right. Best action game.
There's a lot of good picks on here. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I'm sticking with Helldivers 2 for the same reasons that I gave last time. It's just
I went with
It's just-
Wukong.
it was very popular.
I think it'll go to Wukong. I could go with the Chud pick and say Stellar Blade.
I went with the Chud pick.
Oh, you went with the Chud pick?
Yeah, because listen, I've heard a lot of people talk about Stellar Blade in both the worst ways and the best ways possible. All around positive, but...
And those people are on the Game Awards journey.
Exactly. All right. So I just need to make it clear, we are gamers, and we are inside of our houses 90% of the time. Please keep that in mind. It's going to go to Stellar Blade.
We are.
Oh, wow,
we are
being
Byte, and we are
confident on
bringing.
that.
I
We
am
are bringing.
very-
Is Byte bringing back ethics to games journalism?
So yeah, best VR AR. It's my personal pick is Batman Arkham Shadow.
Yeah, I think it's
I was
Batman.
about to say, I was
You guys
going to go
said
with Batman.
Batman.
Because that's cool.
it's Batman.
You get to. You really feel like
Is Kevin
Batman in
Conroy
this
in
game.
this one?
No,
Or is it, oh no, it's Roger Clark.
Yeah, I don't
Or
know
Roger
who.
Craig Smith.
Really, the only actor that I know is in that game is Elijah Wood because he plays Scarecrow.
Roger Craig
why-
Smith, all I hear is Sonic the Hedgehog. It's the only voice he ever does. And so whenever I hear him in a role that's
After-
not
I
Sonic, I'm
hear
like,
him
that's
Etsy.
just Sonic.
Why is Sonic here?
I was like, why is Sonic here?
After playing a bunch of games with him in it, now when I go back and play Assassin's Creed 2, it's so
Yeah.
obvious that him doing Ezio is just his regular voice with a really bad Italian accent over
But
it.
yet, we love Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelation.
It is so good.
They are just the best Assassin's
All
Creed
right,
games.
best mobile game. We got two titans going up against each other.
Yep.
We have Balatro, which is a smash hit.
And
for-
Zenless Zone
and Zenless Zone Zero.
And,
And that's why I
And-
chose Pokemon.
and Pokemon TCG Pocket.
I think this goes to Balatro, I hope.
So, I love
I
Pokemon
don't-
TCG. I've played the game for years, and TCG Pocket has been awesome because it's gotten so many of my friends who have never thought about trying the card game out before. They play the card game all the time. Granted, a more simplified version, but they're still playing it all the time. It's going to go to Balatro.
Yeah.
Because
I
Balatro is
don't-
just really good.
Well, I do want Balatro to win, but it's also one of those I don't need Balatro to win. I just want Zenless Zone Zero to lose.
Fair.
I want Hoyoverse to
In my
lose.
heart of hearts, I really want TCG Pocket to win. It's going to be Balatro.
See, the real question is, when have we ever seen Hoyoverse lose one of their awards? All right.
But they have to. They have to.
Nah,
good
man.
point.
The Hoyoverse keep chugging, all right?
Oh, that's
See,
a
but
good
then it's gonna
point.
be a random AFK journey because that won the Google Play Store Best Game of 2024. So like, it's possible.
Yeah.
I
You don't even
did pick
play-
Pokemon though.
You don't
so-
even play the game. It's you're away from the keyboard.
Best debut indie game. I am
Wonder what
sorry,
it
Animal
is.
Well, but this goes to Balatro.
Yeah,
gonna go
it's
to
Balatro.
I put Animal Well, but I don't think it will
It's
win.
gonna be Balatro.
I
I
love
choose to
Animal
not
Well.
vote Balatro for every single category it was nominated in, so I had to give it to
It's-
someone else.
That's fair. But like for best indie game, it got a Game of the Year award
There's both,
nomination.
yeah.
but
Yeah,
there's
which
also
then-
best
which
indie
then-
and best debut
Yeah,
indie,
which then
so
moves
like, I
on
had to pick
to
one of
best
those
independent
for Balatro.
game, which I think will also go to Balatro.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
listen, the best way to put
See,
it
that
is...
one I put Balatro for. I'm like, it feels mean to pick it for both, so I'll pick it for just
I'm
independent.
picking it for both.
Oh, yeah, it's going to go to Balatro. I think Balatro is going to get quite the clean
Balatro
sweep because
sweep?
we as gamers love gambling. And what better gambling game than one that's specifically catered towards hitting all of our neural synapses and making us feel like we actually win.
You know, like when old people play solitaire on their phones.
Oh, wait,
This is
Now, hold up now. All right, I play solitaire.
this is
I'm
just
on like
solitaire.
level like 500 of Spider Solitaire on Microsoft Solitaire
This is
Collection.
just solitaire but poker. So
Finally
yeah.
a game for me. Like,
If only you could bet real money on it.
No, it's probably for the best that you can't.
All right, best community support.
I put BG3.
Yeah, I mean,
That's fair.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, actually, I think I put Helldivers 2 because Helldivers 2 does have a really good community.
I think any of these have a good
It's
chance,
just-
like
it's
except
fall-
Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's Baldur's Gate. Like that's the thing.
Didn't they add like new endings or something?
Yeah.
They
A-
added like a ton of
a
stuff this
small
year. They
part
added
of
like a
me-
bunch of like modding capabilities too. I actually play this game. This is the only. There's been like 2 games on this list I've played.
A very small part of me wants Fortnite to win because they added all of the. They added like the Lego and the racing and the
But
festival.
they're awful at actually supporting the community. Every time,
they
'cause I play
They
Fortnite.
brought back Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is the best chapter. So.
Except they capitulate to competitive players whining every
yes,
time.
that
It's
is
so
the one
annoying.
thing that they do a lot.
It's so
No,
annoying.
they add something fun, and then all the competitive players be like, it's too difficult, and then they get rid of it. It's like, okay, that wasn't. What was the point then?
Now, all right, we do have to address the elephant in the room. This game has been nominated for this category every year for like 5 years now. Maybe, just maybe, it will get the award No Man's Sky.
Didn't it actually win one time?
No, I don't think it's won yet.
Remember, it was terrible when it
No,
first
yeah,
came
I know,
out.
but I swear it's won at least one award for something.
Worst indie game?
No, for its ongoing stuff.
It may have, but
It may have been the
mean,
year that
it's-
it did the massive content
Yeah.
change.
Yeah, I mean now they just keep adding insane free updates every 3 months, and it's insane.
I mean, listen, they are killing it, all right? They took a really, really crappy game on launch and turned
Whose
it
fault?
into...
Like,
It is their fault, all right? Let's be honest.
they had to deal with this terrible thing that they made.
That they made, but
But now they've beyond reimbursed players. Every
Right. Yeah.
there's no microtransactions. It's like a one-time purchase, and every update is free.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
My personal love would be for No Man's Sky. It's been here so many years. It will always hold a place here until finally it gets the award, and then I think they'll drop it and finally give something else a shot. But I do think Helldivers 2 will get it.
I'm gonna go with Baldur's Gate 3.
I'm going with Baldur's.
I'm Baldur's gating it.
You're gating the Boulder.
Yeah.
Gate.
All right, best ongoing.
Best.
Isn't this like the same category?
So
I
last
don't
year
know.
this
Yeah,
went
but
to
this time Diablo's in it.
last year this award went to Cyberpunk because of
Oh, yeah.
one DLC. So I'm actually shocked Elden Ring isn't on here.
Yeah, that is
That's
a very good
valid
point.
The one DLC thing is my assumption as to why Destiny 2 is on here. I'm an avid Destiny 2 player. It should not win this. I'm assuming that's just because Final Shape came out and is admittedly quite good for a Destiny DLC, but it doesn't deserve this, especially with the layoffs and stuff that
Yeah.
Bungie has done.
Shout out Bungie.
Shout out Bungie for being just a terrible company now.
Yeah. This will probably either go to Final Fantasy or Helldivers.
I'm probably gonna go with Helldivers.
Yeah.
Helldivers.
Yeah.
I
I
went
would
with
want-
Diablo 4.
As somebody who's played Diablo 4, it is pretty good. But
I would want
I
Fortnite
don't think
to
it's as
win,
good.
but it's not gonna happen. Where's Belantra for Games for Impact?
So, Games for Impact, I think Tales of Kenazera Zhao will win this. This was announced last year at the Game Awards, and I haven't had the time to play this, but it looks really cool, and it's been pretty well reviewed. And it's made by Abu Bakr Salim, who was the voice actor for Bayek in Assassin's Creed Origins. He made his own game studio and made this game, which he apparently it's deep personal meaning to him and stuff.
As our resident Life is Strange person,
So, okay.
what's your thoughts?
So he went with Neva.
I love Life is Strange. I really do. It's one of my favorite franchises. Double Exposure was such a slap in the face to fans. And just to anyone who is part of the LGBT community, feels secluded like Max is. And just everything that the original Life is Strange games did, Double Exposure just stomps on it. So my personal pick is Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, because
I played it. I did not.
is it not as good?
It's because the first one is fantastic.
It really is.
Hellblade 2, which I'll bring up later because this got nominated for something else that I think it will win. It is a technical feat. This is possibly the best looking game I've ever played. Amazing graphics, sound is great, and I think people said they didn't like the story as much. I don't think it's as good as the first one, but I think it still has its merits. It's about something a little different thematically, whereas the first game was more introspective. This is more sort of thinking about Senua's interactions with other people. What I did not like about this game is the combat's worse.
Oh God.
You can only fight like one guy at a time now.
Oh.
This is like the pinnacle of playable movie. And I think a certain part of the story, what I liked about the first game is that you could like credibly say that nothing that happens in the first game is real. And it's like a really interesting thing. There's like actual mythological stuff in the second game that is like confirmed by like, because there's more than just one character.
Right.
Like, so like other like characters see it happen, and it's like, oh, that takes away some of the like vibe and mystique of the game to me.
But now, it is just all like this. The category is all about thought-provoking and pro-social meaning. Would you say Hellblade hits that?
It's not as much as the first game.
Okay.
Because it doesn't really talk about the psychosis.
Gotcha.
Much. So I think it's going to go to Zhao.
I agree with you with Zhao. I don't know any of these games. I'm gonna be so real. You just kind of sold me on it.
Yeah. What about you, Annika?
I went with Neva. It
Neva?
looked pretty, and it was on other lists.
That is fair.
Fair.
Innovation and accessibility. Well, there's no racing game on here, so I don't know which one it's going to be.
Yeah, that's surprising.
I watched like several breakdowns on all of these, and everyone was like, Star Wars Outlaw, bad game, great accessibility features.
Interesting.
So that's what I went with, because they had like a huge range and they really catered to a lot of like different accessibility needs, because they have like a bunch of different stuff. Because COD also had a pretty large.
They have a bunch of
range.
like movement aids, but that's about the only thing I know.
Yeah, COD had a bunch of like range and like audio settings, and like it had mono audio settings, and it's pretty standard accessibility, like kind of for the industry as a whole, but it's kind of like the first for the series. So I kind of didn't go with that. Diablo really heavily focused on vision impairment, and then Dragon Age, it was the first Dragon Age to include intentionally accessible design, and it also did a lot of stuff with audio. But like Star Wars had like a ton of stuff that they added that was kind of like new. It wasn't just like catching up to what everyone else has been doing.
Well, as someone who knows nothing about this field, yeah, I'll say Star Wars
Yeah,
Outlaws.
yeah,
but-
you sold me.
I mean,
Wow.
Yeah.
every other year, if there's a Forza game, then it's like it's Forza,
Yeah.
because if you've played a Forza game, the amount of accessibility
Oh,
options
yeah.
on there is insane. But yeah,
Forza reveal? Question mark.
Forza 6.
I would love a Forza Horizon 6 reveal. The Horizon games are so good; they're like the best racing games.
Best performance. This one hurt me because it's got two really fantastic actors on
So I only
here.
played one of these games, which is Senua's Saga, and I don't even think that's like the best thing on here. My issue with this list is that it's only English actors. I played Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which came out this year, and in the native language Japanese, just because that's the new games that are now more popular in America. They have English dubs, but one, they're not very good, and two, I'm so used to the Japanese voices from the older games that I just keep playing it like that. And I feel like it's sad that none of those actors got nominated for this. I don't know. I ran away from Final Fantasy VII is my guess.
I've been kind of torn between Hannah Telle and Luke Roberts, because Hannah, she's returning to voice Max again from her original role back in the first game, which, like I said, one of my favorites. But I love Silent Hill 2. I am just a huge fan of Silent Hill as a franchise, and Luke Roberts killed it as James Sunderland. Where once I was terrified of the remake that was being made, I was so pleasantly surprised. It's such a hard pick, but personally, I'm gonna go Luke Roberts.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go opposite of you. I'm gonna go Hannah Telle, just
Okay.
because I want to spice it up.
Stir the pot a
I
little
wanna
bit.
stir it.
See,
I like that.
Did
I
the
like
opposite and just chose Luke Roberts still. So.
All right.
Here we go. Best audio design. I do think this one goes to Hellblade 2. For anyone who has not played these games, the reason why the audio design is so good is the main character has psychosis, and she hears voices in her head. And if you play this with a pair of headphones, you hear the voices.
But I already
in
have
your
voices in my head.
Like
They
I'm
gotta
Hear more.
Like-
oh yeah, I can double it up. Let's go.
the use of like binaural audio in the game is like really interesting, and I think it's a really cool design choice.
Yeah, that's one thing that I was really intrigued about with the original game and this one, because they're just these groundbreaking games with sound design. I just haven't heard much about Hellblade 2, whereas I would hear everything about the first game.
I mean, the first game had that one sequence. Have you played the first game?
No, I haven't.
There's a sequence where it's like almost pitch black, and you like actually have to like navigate off of sound.
Oh god, that's really cool. Now, was there anything like that in the second game?
There's some things to do with sound, but nothing like that. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I would like Hellblade 2 to win, but like I said, I voted Silent Hill for every category it appeared
I mean,
in.
horror games are also known for their sound
Yeah,
design.
they
so it's
absolutely
like,
are.
See, I think the right answer is Call of Duty Black Ops. No, I'm going with I'm
Call
going
of
with Silent
Duty.
Hill. I'm
I
going
went
with
with
Silent
Final
Hill.
Fantasy.
All right, best score and music.
Oh, this is such a hard one to do. I'm not
I-
gonna lie.
I think this composer that I'm about to say should win. I think he's earned his laurels at this point.
Or his
It-
Annie's. I'm so sorry.
Stop that.
This should go to
File.
Metaphor Refantasio. The composer Shoji Meguro has done a ton of Atlas games, including the past 3 Persona games, 3, 4, and 5, which he's known for. That's probably his most notable work, but like now he's working on Metaphor.
Now, if we're going to talk about age and time with a company and franchise, let us not forget about Akira Yamaoka with Silent Hill, all right? He was the composer and sound designer for the original 4 games of the Silent Hill franchise, and he made his return with Silent Hill, the short message, and came back for Silent Hill 2, giving us even more of a fantastic soundtrack than what we already had before. So, if you love atmospheric, horror, gritty, music that also you can just jam to without having to play the game, Silent Hill. But I do love Metaphor.
I will say, I'm being like genuine when I say this. I think one of the biggest snubs is the Ace Attorney Investigations collection, because that is one of the
every category, baby.
no,
Ace
but
Attorney clean sweep.
genuinely though, both Investigations 1 and Investigations 2 are some of the greatest soundtracks I've ever heard in a game ever, because they're all they all match their theme very well. They're all like all the character themes match the characters extremely well. The cross-examination, the pursuit, like the corner theme, like they're all so just perfectly made. And I think it's one of the few soundtracks that like I do go out of my way to listen to outside of the context of the game. And of course, Ace Attorney was never going to get nominated. It makes me really sad. I genuinely think that is one of the biggest snubs from this category, is that the Ace Attorney series is really, really known for having fantastic music.
So what I'm hearing is you skipped this category.
Yes.
He's protesting
I'm
this category.
protesting.
Protesting for Ace Attorney. Gotcha.
Yeah, I went with Astrobot, so
Fair enough.
Fair.
All right, best art direction.
Ooh.
I went Metaphor.
Metaphor.
Metaphor, yeah.
Listen, we
It
could
just
talk
looks
about
cool.
Elden Ring as much as possible. It's the same
It's
game.
the same game.
Metaphor is so different than other Atlas games. Black Myth Wukong also had some really cool art design. I'm not gonna lie. I do love a good mythological, Chinese myth, especially styled game. But I'm sorry, but just going up against Atlas, who is known for just having fantastic art design, it's like shooting yourself in the foot.
I'm gonna go with Astrobot actually, because I like color. Astrobot colorful.
Well, you can get color in Metaphor.
But then also the fact that Astrobot is just a celebration of Sony's entire history and it is very visual how they do it. I do think it is very good visual
That's
direction.
fair. That's
So
fair.
I am gonna go with Astropod.
What
Best-
did you pick, Annika?
I bet metaphor.
Metaphor? Okay.
Best narrative.
I also put metaphor.
Silent Hill.
Like a dragon.
How much do they add to the narratives of Silent Hill 2?
They
Was it-
actually change
Like, I
quite
know
a
that's
bit.
I know that's like a thing that like depending on the remake can be like a lot or a little. Like Persona 3 Reload came out and it's like the exact same narrative.
Yeah, I mean, it is still Silent Hill 2 for any aged fan or gamer.
Can you still get the dog ending?
Yes, they
Awesome.
actually ended 2 new endings with this game as well. They
Oh,
have
2
all
new
the
endings.
original endings as well as 2 new endings, which further expand some of the lore and depth of James Sunderland, which they don't hit the mark as well as the originals because I don't think you can really do as good as the original, but they are still really, really good endings. And what they add in terms of just the story, I think was really fantastic. How some things were changed, and what they kept the same was just fantastic. Just fantastic overall. That's my word of the day. Fantastic.
I think that has a good chance.
Fantastic.
I think Metaphor has a chance.
Yeah.
I think Final Fantasy has a chance. I'm not a Final Fantasy fan. I know this is nominated for like a gazillion awards. I've never played a Final Fantasy game in my life,
Right.
so I don't know like the hype around this. So I can't attest to any of that.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 2 games which are remakes of classic, high-tier games, going head-to-head with other games that are really good. I just don't, like, when you're looking at it, nostalgia will win every time. I think that's just how Game Awards goes. So comparing those 2, I think it's going to be a tough battle for them.
I think the 2 black sheep here are going to be Hellblade 2 and Infinite Wealth.
Yeah, Infinite Wealth is
It's a
definitely a
pick.
black
It's
sheep.
a pick.
It is
I mean-
very much a pick.
I mean, there are many games in that series that have fantastic stories. This is one of my sort of mid-tier rankings in the franchise for narratives. That like it has a lot of like weird loose ends. That is a whole other topic. But I think the top 3 picks here are going to be Final Fantasy, Metaphor, and Silent Hill.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy, just because I like Final Fantasy. Nothing else really out there.
I started this. I said metaphor.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know. I was just hoping maybe I could have persuaded you just a
No,
little bit.
I think if I choose metaphor for enough categories, I have to win at least one of them. So
No. Oh, I see.
Best game direction. So, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design.
So it's going to go to Elden Ring. I don't want
Elden
it
Ring.
to.
Will it go to Elden Ring?
I think it will.
I'm gonna.
I mean, I think there are things that they designed very well in it, but
It's just an addition. Like I
Yeah.
said before, they didn't, do anything fantastic. Whereas when Elden Ring first came out, it was very much something wholly new, as compared to their previous Souls-like games, where instead of a linear design, now you literally have an open world. That is huge, as well as the jump button. Let's not forget the jump button.
no way.
well, there's one in Sekiro. No, yeah, because I know a couple like diehard FromSoft fans who are like, they ride hard for FromSoft.
I
And
mean,
they're like,
I'll ride hard, but
but like they're like in the souls.
they are
they're,
basically
like,
the Jeff Keighley
of
FromSoft.
Dark Souls. Yeah, and it's like, and they're like, no, dude, this is so good. This is the best thing I played this year. And it's like, and it's oh look at the flower village. That's so cool, isn't it? This is why you should win. I don't know. I think my 2 picks here that I think are most likely is Balatro or Metaphor, because I mean we're talking about game direction and the game design of Balatro
Is
being such an
really
addicting
good.
loop, could definitely win
That's
it.
actually a really good point.
But I'm also a Metaphor diehard. So.
I am a Metaphor diehard, and as much as I know
That's
that
why
Elden
I picked
Ring,
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring's probably gonna win. However, I'm just a Metaphor guy. I really like it, so I'm going with that. But I do if I had a black sheep pick, it's going to go to Balatro.
I'm probably gonna pick Elden Ring with Balatro being my second pick.
Right.
All right, game of the year.
Our final
All
count.
right, Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Eld Tree, Final Fantasy Rebirth, and Metaphor.
This one, I don't think Elden Ring will win.
I think it will.
You think it will?
Listen, all right.
It's Jeff Keighley.
It is Jeff Keighley, and the
His
fact
jury.
that, it's his jury, and he literally made an exception for this game.
Has that rule always been on the website? Because I've heard some people say that rule has just always been there, but has never really been relevant until...
I can't say for certain or not.
Because Witcher got nominated for Best RPG when it had its DLC, so I don't know if it could have been nominated for a bunch of other stuff.
Like, if it's nominated for Best RPG, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think Game of the Year.
Game of the Award.
Game of the Year is a category that focuses on actual, like, full-fledged games, not just additions to games.
Yeah.
Which is why, Elden Ring, the base game, having won, great, fantastic. It was a brand new game, no complaints there.
Shout out
Shadow
to Bill Clinton.
Yes. So, Shadow of the Erd Tree is not a wholly new game. It may be as long and as big and as pricey as a full-fledged game.
But it's not a new game.
It's not a new game. And there are a ton of other games that we've seen in other categories, which I think deserve to be in this spot. There's also arguments to be made for remakes and remasters. Remasters, I am of the opinion they should not be nominated, but remakes, I think, deserve a place.
I think it also depends on what kind of remake.
Right.
How much of the game are you building from the ground up, right?
Yeah.
Like when they remade Last of Us in the new engine, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count,
That's dumb. Or even like how much, I think, because part of it's time. Like how long has it been since that game came out? How much of it have you changed it, and then does it stay true to the original, but then also does it innovate?
Yeah.
And so because if it's just the same thing but modern,
Yeah, which is why I'm okay with the Final Fantasy VII games having been nominated every year they've come out, because those games, you look at the original games, yikes.
The only issue with Rebirth, especially, is that it's the middle part. It's part 2 of a 3-part story, and while I'm not saying it isn't good, because it is, it's okay, part 1, that makes sense. That is oh my god, this is what this entire saga is about to be, and then part 3 is going to be this is the conclusion. It's
it'll
fantastic.
have a
it's
certain
amazing.
thing happening to a certain character.
And then it's just you got part 2, which is that's how we get from part 1 to part 3.
That's
It's
probably why I didn't hear a whole lot about it past its
Yeah.
launch. I saw a couple oh, look how quirky the scene is, and then that's it.
Exactly.
That's all I saw. Probably because of that. I don't know. I would like this to go to Metaphor, so I'm gonna say that, but
Yeah.
who knows?
Metaphor is definitely my pick, but I do think Balatro has a strong case to be made for it.
I mean, it's interesting to look back at previous years and see what won. I mean, obviously the last 2 years have been big ticket innovators, right? We had
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 paving the way in terms of player choice and
Yep.
freedom. Elden Ring redefining open world games. But then before that, Game of the Year was It Takes Two, which is great, and it's a phenomenal co-op game.
Yeah.
And might actually, I don't know, maybe if you play this, it'll save your relationship, but who knows?
Don't take
that is
that
not
as actual
fact.
advice.
No, it will save your marriage.
Oh yeah,
We're
apparently.
certifying
Yeah.
that. We stand behind
yeah.
that as an organization.
Oh, yeah.
But it was really creative. I played it that year, and some of them was creative sequences in a game.
Yeah.
I played, especially that last level with all the music stuff was really cool. But then before that was Last of Us 2, which
Deserved.
I have no opinion regarding Last of Us 2.
I have all the opinions.
I think it was deserved. It was cool, but not exactly innovative.
Yeah.
And then Sekiro was before that.
So yeah, Sekiro deserved.
Which is the beginning of the FromSoft
pipeline.
Yeah, which like, it's crazy how like Dark Souls 3 was like snubbed when that was its year, and I think it lost to like, I can't remember if it was 2015 or 2016. So it either lost to like, I don't even know, but if it was 2016, it lost to Overwatch. So it's like
Yeah, imagine losing to Overwatch. I feel bad for any game that was nominated that year, because Overwatch.
Overwatch was Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It lost to Doom,
It beat out
Yeah,
Doom.
it beat Doom. It beat Titanfall 2.
Yeah, Titanfall
Yeah.
2, it beat out. Like, come on.
Doom 2016 is one of the best shooters of all time.
Yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
I don't know what
This
my
is
choice
yeah.
would be.
This is after the last 2 years where it felt like the winners were pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
This is. It feels weird now to be like, I don't know what the clear cut winner for this is.
Yeah.
It's like, I think Ashbra is a ton of fun. It's not going to win. Balatro is good, but I don't know if it's good enough to win. I know nothing about Black Myth. Elden Ring will probably win, but I don't think it deserves to.
Yep.
And then Final Fantasy VII, like I said, it's only the middle part. And then Metaphor, I honestly don't really know much at all about Metaphor, but it's an Atlas game,
Yeah.
so I know it's really
It is
good.
essentially like a distillation of like all of the good JRPG mechanics that Atlas has worked on over the past, because this is their first new IP
Yeah.
in like forever. Like, it's not even connected to the
Shin
Shin
Megami
Megami
Tensei.
Tensei, which is like what everything else they make is tied to. Somehow, I don't even know. But this is like a wholly original IP. They pulled like artists and designers from like all kinds of different places. I think there's like an artist that worked on like Evangelion that worked on this.
Love that.
It's sort of their like, I don't want to say magnum opus, but like
I would personally say it's
Yeah.
a magnum opus, because it is a fantastic
it's their big thing.
Yeah. No, I think this year's going to be controversial.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know.
My roommate wants me to pick Balatro. I unfortunately picked Astrobot instead, but she really, any category Balatro is nominated, she was like, please, 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 Balatro.
So
please.
it's just out of spite that you're
Yeah.
doing this.
Well, no. Some author of some sports book betting review said he thinks Astrobot's gonna win, and that's also not what the odds were showing. So I thought that was an interesting choice on his part, and I trust that.
All
So
right.
You're
I
doing
went with
like
Astrobot.
research on.
Yeah, I know.
I was about to
Because I
say.
haven't heard of like any.
Oh, see, I haven't heard of most of them either, and I'm just coming off from vibes.
No,
Like,
I watched like 5 videos and read a bunch of articles, and then none of these are gonna win, so it's fine.
That is fair. That is
I
fair.
think I'm going to go with Metaphor.
Yeah.
Metaphor just feels right, like the right answer.
I want to say I'm surprised Persona 3 didn't get nominated for Best Music. It had like the music from Persona 3 has been like going like crazy on social media.
It really has.
Now it's like one of the songs from Persona 3 Reload is like the most listened to Persona song in less than a year. And I see, because now I don't know, I would have thought it would be hilarious if they had Lotus Juice, who's like the Japanese rapper that does all the vocals, if they'd had him come out for a musical performance this year.
That would
But
be
I don't know if
good.
that's going to happen because it's not even
I don't know.
nominated
You
for
can
anything.
put it on your bingo card.
I'll say I think something Atlas will be performed musically,
Yeah. It's definitely gonna. I mean,
because they had a crazy year. Atlas had a crazy year.
Oh,
They had 4
absolutely.
games this
Yeah.
year. They had Persona 3 Reload, Unicorn Overlord, SMT5 Vengeance,
yeah.
and then Metaphor. So they've had quite the year.
2 really fantastic pieces, and the other 2.
Capcom had a pretty good year. They released 2 Ace Attorney collections.
Are those like new? I don't know anything about Ace Attorney.
They're
Are those,
not
like,
new.
Okay.
Well, okay.
So are they just like?
The Apollo Justice Trilogy, not new. All those games came out on the DS, 3DS. Investigations Collection is where it gets goofy because Investigations 1 came out in the US. Investigation 2 never came out in the
So
US.
it's like a bundle
So
of games that didn't come out.
It's a remaster, but technically speaking, Investigations 2 is a new game.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think most of us, maybe, metaphor.
Yeah.
Or that's our cross our fingers.
Metaphor feels
pray
like
to
the
God.
right answer.
Right.
It's such like a critical darling.
Yeah.
It's super high. Actually, the game with the lowest rating on here is Black Myth Wukong, which I believe sits in like the 80s on Metacritic, which is no small feat. It's still, I'm sure, a great game. Although I feel like I've heard more criticisms of Black Myth Wukong than I have any of the other entries here.
It's just baby's first Dark Souls.
Yeah, I've also heard like the traversal segments aren't very interesting, which I don't know. I haven't played the game, so I can't speak.
One of
on
your
it,
sports
but-
betting again.
Like, it has the highest probability for Final Fantasy VII, which I feel
they
like is
fixed
insane.
it. My biggest issue with Shadow of the
That's-
Erdtree was
yeah.
like some of the like insanely cheese bosses, but they fixed most of them.
Right.
I beat Radon pre-patch, so
Wow.
Well, good for you. I mean, listen.
Well, I also cheesed him, so it doesn't even
Oh,
count.
well, okay, yeah. So loser,
I'm a
not doing it classic, like a true Dark Souls champ and getting good.
I had to have a massive shield with a bunch of stamina and a big pokey stick to just go.
Yeah, I for the last time, I've criticized it enough tonight. Shadow of the Erdtree does not belong here. It snubbed Silent Hill 2. I don't think Silent Hill 2 would have won. I just think that Silent Hill 2 deserves a spot.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just my own opinion.
Trust me, I got opinions too.
Yeah. So let's go back through. Metaphor.
Yep.
Metaphor.
Astrobot.
Astrobot.
All right, we love that. All right,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll have a little Astrobot run on stage to grab that award.
Maybe
from
they'll
Jeff.
make a real life Astrobot.
Yeah.
And
Send 'em in.
The Astrobot will accept
Astrobot.
all the awards.
I trust this article I read once that someone else sent me.
We love sports betting, guys.
I'm just always because like this isn't a real awards show. This is like a fake awards
What are you
show.
talking
kinda.
about? This
If
is
you want
real?
an actual like nuanced look at like
The Google
accolades
Play
for
Store awards at the
accolades for video games, look at the BAFTAs.
Yeah.
That's like the actual like Academy thing, but
Now let's be honest, though. We're not here for the actual
Yeah.
awards.
we're here for the fun stuff.
We're here for the
Yeah.
fun stuff. We're
here
here
for
for
the
Bill
enough.
Clinton and Hideo
what
Kojima.
if he actually shows up?
We're here to,
Please,
as a
we're
celebrity
here to
guest?
see
Please put that
what
on your
that
bingo board.
Jet Set Radio announcement was from last year.
Big Sega announcement last year.
Yeah,
so
would they
I'm-
announce like, oh hey, we're bringing back every single one of our franchises and have not said a word all year? And I'm like, I want to.
They're cooking. Right? Let them cook.
I think Sega
Feel like we're sorry
might
for
have some
implying
sort
that
of
we were lying.
I want new Jet Set Radio. That game's great.
Sega might have another big, slam dunk at the Game Awards this year. Who knows if that's with one of their more classic franchises or one of their more modern franchises? Who knows? Will Sega characters come to Fortnite or something? I don't know.
I want Sonic the Hedgehog in Fortnite.
No, actually, that's a thing. Apparently, there was a thing about they can't bring because Sega wants their big popular franchises, which is Sonic, Persona, and Yakuza.
Please bring all three of those into the Fortnite under
They-
the
no,
same drop.
No,
Sonic
that's
v.
what
Yakuza.
their condition is they don't want to bring one without the other two. And
really?
but there's no way to put Sonic in Fortnite because he's not the height of a regular person. And
No,
they
I
want him
think
to
they
be an
just
actual
scale him up.
They want him to be
They
an actual
pull-
playable character,
They
but just still
pull
look
up
like
Peter
Sonic.
Griffin and just extend his leg.
Yeah, I was about to say, make
the
him super
Sonic
tall.
Boom design. Give him the Sonic Boom design.
good
That will
God.
go over well.
Yeah, I just want really tall Sonic
Yeah.
in Fortnite.
I don't know, just make his hitbox just literally just scale him up, and so he's just massive.
No, those Minecraft Bedrock skins where it's a really short, like the Yoda skin, where he's really short, but the hitbox is just over his head. Like
Yeah.
you still get hit right there, like you take damage.
Oh yeah. No, what you got to do is you basically just take one of the existing Fortnite guys.
Just put a little Sonic mask
Yeah,
on him.
just Sonic mask on.
Well, I think the answer is you take one of the Yakuza guys and put a little Sonic mask on him.
No, you got to take the guy with the eye patch, and he
Majima.
just pulls off the Sonic mask, reveals himself. It's a very Majima effect, I feel.
Yeah.
And then Hideo Kojima gets added to Fortnite.
And then after that, another mask. Majima's actually
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima.
Underneath that, it's Sonic again. But
Yeah. Just keep cycling.
yeah.
But anyways, we are Bytes at BSU, and these were our nominations for the Game Awards. Thank you.